NASCAR is coming to Texas in just a couple of weeks, but we've got NASCAR right here in our studio here at the Oklahoman. I'm Scott Wright of the Oklahoman. We're joined by Texas Motor Speedway President Eddie Gossage and NASCAR Hall of Fame inductee, two-time champion Terry Labonte. Guys, thank you very much for coming up here to Oklahoma City and visiting with us.
It's a pleasure.
And we've got a special guest here. This is the trophy you're going to be handing out in a couple of weeks, right, Eddie?
This is the trophy for the AAA Texas 500, the night of or the afternoon of November 8th, and this thing weighs about 60 pounds. We were talking about it earlier. You hand this to the winning driver in victory lane, and they just run 500 miles. You go, lift over your head and wave at the cameras, right. And they sometimes kind of look at you sideways. So it's, but yeah, it's a pretty trophy, and when you see that in the newspaper the next day, whether it's here in Oklahoma or in Singapore, you know that race was in Texas.
Right.
So.
And there's usually a photo of somebody shooting a gun accompanying it as well.
Wearing a cowboy hat, celebrating shooting the 6 shooters. It's all part of the tradition. Very
good. Terry, you are one of the legends of Texas racing. You came up at a time originally from Corpus Christi, right. And came up at a time when there wasn't a lot of racing going on around these parts as far as big-time cup racing. Talk about some of your influences growing up in Texas and how you got into racing.
Well, growing up in South Texas, following racing naturally, A.J. Foyt was the guy that got all the media coverage and everything, and so he was the guy that I really followed and really, admired him. And actually, when I started racing quarter midgets, I thought the next thing to do was race full-size midgets and then hopefully Indy cars. And then there weren't no midgets down there where we lived, so we started racing stock cars and kind of went a different path, which I'm glad we did. And eventually moved to North Carolina and got to race in the NASCAR Cup Series, and got to do it a lot longer than I ever thought I would.
You won 22 races, 2 championships, as I mentioned, and you're going into the Hall of Fame actually next year's class, correct?
Right, that's correct.
What did that Hall of Fame induction mean to you?
Well, it means an awful lot. It's very exciting. It's something I'm very proud of, and certainly something I never really expected. When you start out in your career, that's not one of your goals, is to make it to the Hall of Fame. You kind of go from race to race and season to season, and and then I guess when you can look back at it and accomplish some of the things that we accomplished, it's really quite an honor to be selected to the Hall of Fame, because I look at that and I see a lot of the people in the Hall of Fame, and they're my heroes when I was growing up, and the guys that I had raced against, the guys I really looked up to, and so it's kind of really makes you feel good when you're considered in that category.
Now, Eddie, somebody else in that Hall of Fame class is Bruton Smith, who's obviously very important to you guys. He owns your speedway as part of his conglomerate. Talk about what he means to you guys.
Well, you're right. He's been my boss for 26 years, so I'm really proud of him. He's a guy that was promoting races before NASCAR existed. That's how far back he goes. He's 88 years old, still incredibly involved in the day-to-day activities of the speedway. All 8 speedways. We're part of a publicly held company that all 8 NASCAR tracks are NASCAR tracks, and he's heavily involved with each of us. So his accomplishments, the things that he has done for the sport to move it forward, always had the very best facilities, always had the most creative ideas, the most aggressive promotion to try and help bring attention to the sport. To me, there's no question he should have been in the Hall of Fame sooner, to be honest, in my book, but we're really proud that he's going in, and I think it's great that he's going in with one of my heroes, Terry Labonte, and so we're going to look forward to that night, the induction ceremony in January, when he goes in along with Terry and 3 other guys.
You mentioned race promotion. That's something that you guys down at Texas have a lot of fun with. You've got the 8th race of the Chase out of the 10 coming up on November 6th, 7th, and 8th will be your three race days down there in Texas. Any fun surprises planned for promoting this one? You had now before we get to that, you had one of the storylines that wrote itself last year with Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski getting into a little bit of fisticuffs there on pit road after the race, and I know you guys had some fun with that back in at the spring race. What you got on tap for us this year?
Well, I got to be honest. Right after that was over, I didn't see any of it. I'm in victory lane to present the trophy to the winner, but I could tell by the crowd that something was going on pit road, so I kind of had an idea. And a few moments later, I looked over my shoulder, and Jeff had stepped into victory lane to be interviewed by the television network. And I looked over at him, and he looked at me. We kind of made eye contact, and I looked away because I realized, you know, I didn't want to interrupt him. He was in the moment, and so I saw him a few weeks later, and he said, "I looked at you and I thought, of all places to do this, I had to do it here because I know you're going to do something with it." And I said, "Oh yeah." Yeah, you know, to me that just shows the passion of a couple of guys in a real heated moment, and you know, no harm, no foul. I like both Jeff and Brad, so we're going to be equal opportunity promoters and promote both of them as part of that little fight last time around. But like I said, it just goes to show you how badly these guys want to win, how badly they want to win the championship, and how badly they want to move forward. And you know, for some reason, this race with only 2 to go, you know, you're running out of chances to win the championship. So a lot's on the line, and when you focus that spotlight nice and hot, you know, champions rise to the top, and sometimes dramatic things occur. And either way it goes, it's fun to watch.
And you know, we're just a couple of days removed from a wild finish at Talladega in a chase race that decided who got to advance to this next to last round. And you look at, I mean, we don't have enough time to sit here and even describe exactly what all went on at the end of that race. But Terry, I'll ask you this: you finished your full-time career just before the chase was getting going. Would you have enjoyed racing in this kind of format?
I think I would have loved it, but I tell you what, it puts a lot of pressure on the driver and the teams. It comes down now. You have one mistake, and it can knock you right out of the, you know, advancing to the next round. And so we saw that happen to a couple of guys at Talladega. Denny Hamlin, you know, looked like going to be a sure lock in it. Something happened to the roof hatch on their car, and you know, lost 2 laps trying to fix it. Pretty much did him out of the run for a championship, and he's a guy that was going to run good here at Texas and Phoenix and Martinsville. He runs really good there. So that's the hard part about it. Is there's so much pressure on these teams. One mistake just makes a difference of your season now.
Very good, guys. As I said, November 6th, 7th, and 8th are the race days. Trucks, Xfinity, and then the big chase race on Sunday afternoon. Eddie, you guys are always a fan favorite. You treat the fans well. Anything special planned? Any good ticket packages left out there at this point?
There's a variety of ticket packages. Go to TexasMotorSpeedway.com and you can learn about the different opportunities that are available to you. There's a big pre-race concert at 11 a.m. Sunday with Sammy Hagar. That's going to be a party. Driver introductions. There's going to be a little surprise worked in that I think will bring the house down. We've got a tribute to Jeff Gordon as well, and then we'll start the race. So you know, you're going to get your money's worth before the green flag falls, and then we really get it on. So, but it's a NASCAR triple header weekend, so we have more fans come to Texas Motor Speedway for these races than goes down for the OU Texas game, and we know what a big deal that is. That just shows you how many Oklahomans come to Texas Motor Speedway. We love Oklahoma.
And for all the disappointed Dallas Cowboys fans, there will be some playoffs in the DFW area thanks to the chase.
There will be playoffs, and we never have a losing season.
That's right. Eddie, Terry, thank you guys very much for coming up to Oklahoma City and joining us. I will be at the races November 7th and 8th after covering some high school football, but I'll be down there, and you can stick with us on newsok.com, and I'll keep you guys all updated. So stick with us on the web and in print in the Oklahoman. Thanks very much.